Hello, today I have the lovely Ros with me. Hi, Ros, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for this opportunity. It's really exciting to be involved with Tales on Trent. My name's Ros Rendle, and I, in a previous life, was a head teacher, but I took early retirement and we went to live in France for 10 or 11 years, but we came back just a few years ago. And I started writing while we were in France. Well, that's not strictly true. I started writing when I was 23, but I had a full-time job and 2 children then, so it didn't go very far. But when we went to France, I had such a lot more time on my hands. And other than gardening, it was a great thing to start doing. So I took up the story that I started all those years ago and managed to finish it. Gone on from there. Still doing it. Can't stop.
And did you know when you were a child that you wanted to write one day? Was it always a dream?
I'm not sure. I mean, I was always much better at the English side of things than mathematics, which is not my thing at all. My mother was an author, published author, and she used to say, oh, you know, everybody's got the book inside them, as they do. And I think when I was in my late teens, I thought I would like to have a go, but, you know, didn't have the willpower in those days, too busy doing other things. So as I say, it went from my early 20s onwards, really.
And what made you decide to write in the genre that you write in?
That's quite hard. Well, I'm not organised enough to write thrillers and crime. I would love to do that, but I think I would have to plan a lot more than I do. My planning at the moment is quite minimal. 2 sides of A4 maybe, with some chapters, plans and plot points and so on at the relevant point. But I think if I was writing thrillers or crime, I'd really have to go into a lot more detail. That's my imagination of it.
From some of the crime writers I speak to, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case.
Well, you never know, in the future I might give it a go. I sort of had a mild thriller start to one of my books, which should be coming out more probably next year now, but it's not a very detailed thriller side of it. It is more romantic fiction.
And how many books have you written so far?
Well, I've got 2 that are or 3 that are currently out, one that I've indie published and 2 that have come out with Sapiri Books. And a 3rd one is due to come out with Sapiri on November the 16th. But they also have 4 more books in a series which are a contemporary, well, I hesitate to call them women's fiction, but contemporary fiction. And but because of the pandemic and the publisher had terrible COVID problems, one of the main protagonists in the company has long COVID, so it's kind of put everything back by quite a long way. I'm hoping they'll come out early next year, those 4.
And who's been your favourite character to write so far?
Well, I've got a couple, and there was one in one of the contemporary books that's due to come out probably next year now. He was a rural rough sleeper, an older character who was based on an actual fella who used to live in the quarry near where my mum lived. She fed him eventually, and he was just such a gentle character. But I used his character as a quite a central figure really in this book. And then the one that I liked out of the series that I'm just having published now is this historical early 20th century series. The male protagonist in the book that's just come out, The Warring Heart, he was lovely, gentle, a nice guy. Not a softie, but a very caring fella. His name was Nathaniel.
Do you put any secret jokes or messages in your books that only a few people understand?
Oh, crikey. That's a good question. No, I don't think I do actually, because I'm quite aware that my family read them. So I think I would be embarrassed to do that. I'm embarrassed enough as it is, because they'll hear me through my writing.
Oh, they must be so proud.
I hope so. I've got 2 grown-up daughters and 4 granddaughters, the oldest of whom is now 22, and she reads my books. I've got 2 in the middle who are 18 and 17, so they're getting to an age where they might start to read them, and I think they are quite proud. My daughters certainly read them and have expressed that. Yeah, so that's lovely.
Oh, is there anyone you're particularly looking forward to meeting at Tales on Trent?
Well, I know several of the authors on social media, but I've never met them. So, I mean, obviously Valerie Dickinson, Keogh, but a lot of the authors I don't know of, or I haven't known of until now. So that's going to be great, because they are writing in different genre to me, and I know a lot of authors who write in my own genre, mainly through the Romantic Novelists Association. I've been a member of that for quite a long time. So it's going to be good to meet other people too.
Yeah,
generic answer, really.
I know Valerie just through social media, and I haven't met her, so I'm really looking forward to meeting her as well, because she's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Graham Cummings I've met before, because I organised an event that he attended, so in my hometown. So, you know, it'd be nice to catch up with him. There's people like that you know, we just haven't had the opportunity to meet for such a long time.
And are you planning on getting loads of signed books while you're there?
Well, that would be lovely. I've got several to bring with me. I've also got some, you know, notebooks and pencils and things like that. I'm still working out what to bring, actually. I mean, I've got several copies of books, but it's the other, you know, stuff like chocolates.
Well, we'll have our boys on hand to lug stuff around for you anyway.
Oh, that's lovely. My husband's coming, but he's not going to come to the event. He's going to go off and do his own thing. It's actually my birthday that day, so we're going to stay in the hotel and we'll go out in the evening and do something. Oh. But he's not coming to the actual event.
I have to see if Claire can arrange us to sing for you.
I think it's somebody else's birthday that day, I think I read.
Yeah, I think
who it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice birthday present anyway for me to be there.
Yeah, it'll be great. And we're looking forward to having you there.
Thank you.
I can't think of any more questions for you. Just look forward to you taking over and seeing what you do in the group.
Well, I'm looking forward to it really very much. I mean, I've done 1 or 2 small signings before and local library events, WI and things like that. But I've never been to such a big event as this. So I'm quite excited about it. It's going to be really good.
Yeah, me too. I went to Harrogate Crime Festival, but only as a guest. So to be sort of involved in the organising is pretty awesome, actually. Although I don't really know how I've ended up doing it. But
Claire, do you write yourself, or are you really you're a reader?
Yeah, I want to. Well, I have written a book. I just need to get it to a stage where I can release it. But yeah,
good for you.
Yeah,
I mean, so many people say, "Oh, I write a book, but I haven't got time," but to actually do it is quite an achievement. So,
yeah. So hopefully, by the time we meet, I will also be an author.
That would be fabulous, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, would you like to just remind everyone where they can find out more about you and where they can get your books from?
Thank you, yes. Well, I'm on Twitter as Ros Rendle and Facebook, Rosalind Rendle Author. I've got a website which is Ros Rendle TOT.co.uk. But Amazon have all my books, and Saperi Books also have them advertised there on their own website and blog. So that's about it. Thank you very much indeed, Donna.
Thank you.
It's lovely to have met you a little bit more than just in words.
Yes, absolutely.
And I look forward to seeing you next year in May.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to give you a hug.
Bless you. Thank you.